as the chair of CAP, objects in the museum, I remember not so very long, they showed a chair made out of guns. And that, the good side of it, and the way how the person made the chair. But today as I was coming on the tram, I picked this magazine up, and it was sad to see it said Holidays from Hell. And it was said the 10 deadliest war zones in the world. And it went on, Darfur, Zimbabwe, Iraq, Afghanistan, Somalia, Nigeria, East Turkey, Kashmir, Chechnya, and Colombia. And all these places are using the guns. They're using them now. One man went on his holidays, that's why it's called Holiday from Hell, and he took photographs and showed him among the tanks. He was a very brave man. But those will be developed to educate other people what's going on at this present time in our world that we're living in. And those relics remind us that in hundreds of years, might be from now, children will be looking back at those as we are looking back to what happened in the slave times. I speak passionately about this because I think of my grandchildren and their children after them if we survive. That's all I have to say.
I'm a bit late. What I'm proud to be black, but the problem is sometimes that Franklin just made a thing about what was in Voice. But I would say that if black children seen superstars and famous people and that, they would have gone into a room and picked Ice-T up or picked all sorts of black singers, and they wouldn't have been prejudiced about black dollies. I think that particular thing was a white doll, a black doll. If there were famous pop stars or runners and that, I think black children would have picked black dolls up. And that's what I'm mentioning about when you talk about racism and the psyche of black people. That's what I would say. And I think it's quite wrong to have an analogy about why we as black people dislike ourselves. Because I personally like myself, and I personally don't mind picking a black doll or a white doll. But in that particular sort of thing, if the dolls were famous dolls and there were black children and white children, would have probably picked the black dolls up.
Maybe. You're educated now.
Yeah. Sorry?
You're educated now. To be proud of yourself now. They're not. They weren't.
Can I express my thanks to members of the panel? I think we leave this evening with a lot of things to think about, but what is significant is that this is the beginning of a dialogue, and one hopes something comes out of it to actually introduce the changes that have been proposed, and we hope a year from now that we'll be looking at something significantly different, and that there would have been some movement. And if that happens, then today's discussions would have been the starting point, and I hope that will be the case from now on. So can you, on behalf of the museum, put your hands together